welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is your first time. So today we'll be talking about something that I've been seeing a lot on the news lately, for the past month at least. It seems like every other week there's a celebrity apologizing for something. To me, like their publicists must have a template, like just a template. You put I, Justin Timberlake, I, Shia LaBeouf, I, so and so, and then it's the same thing, and then at the end is, I'll do better. I want to start with this one because this guy rubs me the wrong way, so I just want to get him out of the way. Morgan Wallen. If you haven't heard of him, he is a big country star. I never heard of him. I never even listened to one song of his, so I'm not judging him by his music, artistry, or anything. I talked to a friend of mine, and she's a big country fan. I have my country phase. I like some country, but she said he's like Garth Brooks type of fame. Booked to perform at Saturday Night Live. So, you know, SNL, they're being very strict about COVID. They haven't had any positive cases. They're, you know, keeping everyone in a bubble. Everyone's getting tested. Even the audience members, I've heard they're getting paid to be there. They're paying people to be there to get tested, to make sure everyone's safe. So Morgan had to quarantine before going on SNL and performing. This dude, and then footage of him at a bar full of people, no mask wearing, and then he's kissing every other girl there, like tongue kissing and taking shots and partying. And in my head, it's like, dude, where is your manager? Like, to babysit you and tell you you have probably, you know, the most important gig of your life. Because boys and girls, pandemic or no pandemic, don't do that. Don't go to a bar and kiss random strangers. It's nasty. STDs are still around, so don't do it. COVID or no COVID, don't go to a bar and make out with random people. Ugh, nasty. So he goes, so Lorne Michaels, you know, the big guy at SNL, says, no, you're not performing, we're taking this seriously, blah, blah, blah. Maybe in the future if you follow the rules and guidelines. So Morgan goes, apologizes. TMZ has footage of this guy at a parking lot dropping the N-word. Why? Like 2021, why are we still doing this? And the way he said it wasn't like, you know, the vomit of the mouth. Sometimes we say something, we regret it right away. It's just like, and you swallow the vomit. Ooh, I shouldn't have said that. Big female country artist, she put out a tweet and she said that we all know it wasn't his first time saying that word. So apparently he says that word quite often. God, oh my God. So I give credit when credit's due. His apology, you know, I like when he said he has met with Black organizations and Black, you know, advocates, and they, you know, tried to explain to him, and he even said, like, they told me stories that I was shocked, you know, about the word. It's just some people are not informed enough that they say, oh, it's just a word. But this word, this like little word that you think is just like, you know, meaningless, behind that word, it had so much hurt and pain that would cause, and it's still causing to some people. So people have to understand that behind that word, there's a past. That he met up with people, you know, trying to educate himself. What I don't like is, once again, he's blaming the alcohol. It's like, why? Why the excuses? I was on day 72 of my 72-day bender. And like, no, like, first of all, from the SNL fiasco and this one, you're blaming alcohol, then honey, you need to be in rehab right now. Like, you have a problem. That's what causing your issues If you being that person every time you drink, then change it. You know that saying, drunk thoughts, sober mind? It's so true. And it's when people say, it's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. I was drunk. No. You meant that. It's just like the alcohol gives you, the balls and the freedom to say it, that when you're sober and you're in control of yourself, you keep those things to yourself. I don't care about the show. I've never watched it. I mean, I know what the show is about, The Bachelor, The Bachelorette. I know what the show is about. I just don't watch it. But there's this contestant, her name is Rachel Kirkconnell, put it out there, 24 years old, and a photo of her in 2018, so not that long ago, at a sorority ball type of thing. So it's her and all her sorority sisters in, ball gowns. And then here's the catch. It's at a plantation. At a plantation. Like who books those sort of events? It's like, and don't get me wrong, when I saw the picture before I read the things, like, what's wrong with this picture? It looked to me like, in Latin culture, you have the Sweet 16. It looked to me like it was a Sweet 16. All these girls in like beautiful like ball gowns, and for me, it looked like the background looked a place with trees and all of that. And then when I read it, that it was a plantation, I was like, no. Reminds me of the picture remind me of Gone with the Wind. And I know Gone with the Wind has gone through its own controversy, in the past year or the last 2 years or so. But I grew up watching that movie. My dad used to let me stay up late, just to watch that movie. And I remember seeing the gowns, the certain gown. I remember Scarlett O'Hara, the main character, in this velvet green gown. I was like, wow, that's so pretty. And her making dresses out of curtains. Once again, when I saw the pictures, like, oh, ball gowns. But then I think that's why I'm not so mad at this girl. I think it's more of an education thing, because when I came here to the US, the word plantation for me was, what is it? A place where you plant plants, or a place that you can go and buy plants. Plantation. And to a friend of mine had to educate me basically, and he's African American, and he said, oh no, Denise, plantation, this happened, etc., etc. And it's like, oh my gosh, like when I learned, the atrocities that happen at a plantation and the history behind it, now, you kind of train your brain. Now my brain just clicks when I hear that word, like plantation, bad. In my head, it's like, what kind of school do you go to that they don't, I know here in America, they teach history, but they don't teach you history. Comes in Chris Harrison, which he's the host of the whole Bachelor franchise. He's actually a producer now, and I think he's been a producer for a while. He goes on an interview on Extra with Rachel Lindsay. If you don't know Rachel Lindsay, she is the first Black Bachelorette, so she's interviewing him. And he goes on and defends the picture, the sorority antebellum plantation picture. So he says something in the lines of, was it bad in 2018? Was it a good look in 2018? Or it's not a good look in 2021? And I'm like watching, it's like, dude, do you understand who you're talking to? You're talking to a Black woman, like the first Black Bachelorette. It's like the way he was defending the picture to her, I was watching, it's like, is that the hill that you want to die? He steps aside from the job. I don't know if it was his decision, a mutual decision, or the network's decision. This is my conspiracy theory. Hashtag, I'm calling it. Rachel Lindsay, the one that was interviewing him, is eyeing for his job. Just to be like the first Black Bachelor host. I don't know. That's my conspiracy theory. If you like those type of shows, watch, it's on Hulu, watch Unreal. It's a TV show. It's so good. It's so good. Behind the scenes of the Bachelor show, and you just see how manipulative all the producers are, and apparently it's really close to what happens in the real show. But the manipulation of it all is like they just use the contestants, and you think it's like it's a show about love, it's people finding love and getting married, and no, it's all staged. So Unreal on Hulu. It's like, the last one we will talk about is Justin Timberlake, of course. It's been all over the news with the whole Framing Britney documentary. People are demanding that he apologize to Britney and Janet. He did issue an apology. You read it. Pause this video, take your time, read it. What's the difference between Justin now and before, all these years before that people wanted an apology, to both the women? The difference is he's married now. He's got 2 kids. And not only he's married to Jessica Biel, who is a very strong woman, very independent. She supported the Me Too movement. She's producing her own things now. You think she didn't sit down with him at the dinner table and said, "Hey, Justin, I've seen the comments, I've seen the tags, I've seen people asking. It's like it's time for you to release an apology. I can't stand being married to a man that won't take responsibility for his actions. You have to be better. You have to be an example for our kids." Is it a little too late? Yeah, it is, but I'll take it. I think Janet posted a video, so excited because her album went #1 again, which is awesome. But I'm sure they both women will take an apology now. And then people are upset because Justin put out that video, "Cry Me a River." I'm not mad about that. I wouldn't want an apology about the music that he put out on his songs about her cheating, and that he was heartbroken. It was his first love. So when you're an artist, be it musician, a dancer, a painter, a writer, you put your heart in your art, and it shows. I have one word for people that want Justin to apologize about the video and the songs and all of that: Adele. We all love Adele. We all cry to her songs. We all relate to that heartbreak. Sometimes multiple heartbreaks. Someone like you. We relate to Adele because she puts her heart into her songs. So why are we mad that Justin did the same? The girl cheated on him. She did it. We all know. About is the kissing and telling. The bragging about taking a girl's virginity. That's a problem. And laughing about it, that's a problem. Him at a radio station, which the guy asked, like, "Did you, Britney Spears, did you?" And I get it, he probably felt cornered, but then the way he said it, he's like, yeah, I did. And then they both start laughing. Boys listening, don't do that. It's not cute, it's not sexy. Don't brag about taking a girl's virginity. It's so tacky. Janet, let's talk about the Super Bowl. I want people to stop saying that it was a wardrobe malfunction. Can we just not? It wasn't. It just wasn't. And then Nipplegate? What nipple? There wasn't any nipple. She had a pasty in the shape of a star. Malfunction? As a dancer, let me tell you, before a performance, you do rehearsal after rehearsal after rehearsal. Then you do rehearsal #1, rehearsal #2, like dress rehearsal. And then the last dress rehearsal that you do, it's like you performing that day without an audience. But you go to the venue or you go to the stage and you have full-on costume and makeup with the shoes that you're gonna wear at that night. You perform like it's that day. He pulled out that thing out of her boob. There wasn't a struggle. There wasn't any. It was just so like, phew. Better have you naked by the end of this song. Dunce, 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 dunce. what is that song? That was a song that was playing when he like did that. Janet Jackson just walks around with like star-shaped pasties on her nipples. It was there for a reason. And then somebody dug out of the internet dust that it was like a promotion or commercial for the Super Bowl that year. And this is what it said. You won't believe your eyes. They knew. They knew. Everyone knew. I think the producers knew. Which, you know, people are like, Justin needs to apologize to Janet. What about the producers? What about the Grammys? She got uninvited to the Grammys after that performance. Her invitation was revoked. And then Justin shows up at the Grammys and wins awards. Janet, who's an icon, by the way, has like one moment in her career, has to go on an apology tour. She went on TV, apologized to all like the families that she offended. Where was Justin in that? Should have been, when she was apologizing to America, he should have been right next to her, because in that moment, at that performance, there were two that were tangoing. Two to tango? Two were tangoing. I just made a verb out of tango. I was always a Backstreet Boy girl. Never liked NSYNC. And I don't understand why Justin was the one that soared from all the, you know, the other members. I like JC. I think JC had a better voice than Justin. I never thought Justin was that attractive or sexy or how does he get all these women? Cameron Diaz? Jessica Biel? They're all smoke shows. What does this man has in his pants that we don't know? My question to you guys, which apology would you pick? Speaking of cancel culture, I think we live in a society nowadays that cancel culture and accountability, it's so blurry now. It's so blurry. I don't think we should cancel everyone automatically, but I do think we should hold people very, very, in some cases, very accountable. Let's decide if there are changes, you know, if they change their behavior. You know, if we don't see any changes, then don't watch their movies, don't buy their music, don't go to their concerts. So, you know, the apology culture that we live in, don't you think it dilutes the apology to almost like they don't mean it? You know, when a kid, you ask a kid that did something bad, it's like, you apologize to a friend, apologize to your sister, and the kid sits there, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, you know, they don't mean it. So I'm afraid with this whole apology tour that people are having, that it's just like, it just won't mean much. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for listening. Make sure you hit the like button. That really helps the channel. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification button so you don't miss any more videos, and I'll see you next time.